Yeah, sorry. By Joost Meerloo. So, what do y'all think?
Yes. Okay, so I thought of like when someone, like a child is scared of moving out of their parents' house and like becoming like free, it's because they're actually scared of gosh, I can't speak.
That happens to me.
The responsibility of being an adult is what scares them.
So this, yes, the responsibility of becoming an adult scares them. Why is that so scary? Yeah.
Some people don't know what to do, like taxes and everything.
Taxes. Why do taxes scare us so damn much? Just don't pay them. Just don't pay them.
Because a lot of people think that they're not going to be able to make it on their own. Like you won't be able to afford it, or you won't be able to have like a stable job.
So it becomes very difficult because we think we don't know what's coming after that, right? After adulthood. And so just like the child in the closet, we populate the unknown with our imaginations. Not in the closet that way. In the closet, like the small child who looks in the closet and sees the monster, sorry. And who matches the monster. And not their uncle, but the actual, the monster in their head. Not the one who comes around during Thanksgiving. Yeah. It's that unknown. Think about like a roller coaster. Anybody enjoy roller coasters?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because they're fun.
Because they're fun. They're fun because they're fun. Why? How do you enjoy roller coasters? So the adrenaline rush, and what's the adrenaline rush based off of?
Oh, like the drop. Your fear.
It's the drop, it's the fear, but it's also a controlled fear. Because I mean, imagine if you're standing in line for the roller coaster, and like every 10th or 11th or 12th, it's not really sure. You just hear a car go off the tracks and kill everybody.
Oh.
And then they just bring out another one. Next.
Oh.
Imagine how you feel about that roller coaster now.
I think I'd get on, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who'd be like, oh, what are the odds? It's only 1 in 10, 1 in 12, right? Something like that.
Selection.
Yeah, natural selection, going back to that.
Didn't we have a quote that said something about the unknown?
Yes, yes. Anybody remember what it was? What about the unknown? Yeah, something like that. Well, the first one was from Nietzsche. Staring into the abyss stares back into you. Gazing into the abyss, sorry. We've actually had a couple that connect to this one. Again, as we move further along into this semester and deeper into the PowerPoint, you're going to find that a lot of them overlap and not repeat, but either support or contradict ideas from previous PowerPoints, from previous journal entries. So, yeah. So the roller coaster is cool because there's a certain control fear, and unless you're like on one of those dark ones, you can look forward and see like where the tracks are going to go and prepare yourself and all that. So it isn't like real terror. It isn't like real fear. But there are some of us who, if it was like 1 in 10 that went off the tracks, we'd still be like, let's give it a shot. You know? There's a certain personality type that does that. What else? Yeah.
I thought of it as like the fear of going onto the real world by yourself. Like having all the responsibility passed on to you. Like you had an adult, like let's say your parents do stuff for you and all this other stuff, but now you have to do it all on your own.
And so what's so bad about that? So you have to take on that responsibility on your own. Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think that, well, I don't know. For me, I feel like I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to do stuff on my own because I have my mom to help me. And so like I feel like for a lot of people when they go out, they don't know what to do. They're just kind of lost.
Yeah. I don't know if you feel that way. Yeah.
I kind of agree with what you said, but I feel like also it's because we're not really taught what to expect or what to do after school. We're just taught like, okay, you have to do this and like math, English, whatever, but we're not really taught what to do like once we go to Meerloo and have like when we get a job and to find a permit or something.
We're going to talk, like the specifics, like what you need to do. Like, I've mentioned before, I see those memes all the time from people, like, in school I learned how to, whatever, identify figurative language, but I never learned how to do taxes or to read a rental agreement or things like this. What kind of things would you want to know from school? Especially for you guys, because you guys are only like, what, 8 months away? Street smarts. Street smarts. So we're going to the streets, kids.
Yeah, how do you know when you qualify for an apartment?
Qualify for what?
An apartment.
An apartment. Ah, so how to qualify for an apartment?
How to do taxes?
How to do taxes?
Apply for it.
So how to qualify for an apartment, how to do taxes, how to apply for a loan, how to take notes. You mean like for college? Yeah.
How to read your credit.
Yeah, read credit score?
How to read. Right?
Tried, man! Tried!
Yeah, man.
How to read. How to read words.
I mean,
Those things on page, what they mean.
yeah.
They talking about me? Okay.
What about drivers?
Drivers? Oh. We used to have drivers out here. That was another one of those things. I was talking about that last time, right? Classes we used to have here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one that we used to have here as well, driver's ed. If you talk to some of the teachers who are alumni, they can tell you, oh yeah, there used to be driver's education. When I was in school, when I was in school, we had driver's ed. That was a class we
I
took.
would make fun of that. What they say back in my day.
Back in my day.
Oh, what time in your day, get over it.
Oh my
God.
god.
Okay. It's just the music was really good back then, that's all.
Music was good back then.
Yeah.
It really was.
No, it's terrible, man. When I was growing up, we had to listen to like Nirvana and Public Enemy and NWA. You guys are so lucky with what you get to listen to. Oh, yeah, wonderful. Good on you, man. Dude, I had to listen to Smashing Pumpkins. Can you believe that? Yeah, I remember. I had to go to a concert one time, and it was System of a Down with Korn. It was just. Can you imagine having to do that and pay $15 for it? It was terrible. I made up the $15 thing. That wasn't true. It was still like $100, but whatever. But prices were reasonable.
Now they're insane.
Now, that's the beauty of nostalgia. Nostalgia is just kind of wishing some kind of idealized past onto the present. So we want driver's education, reading, raising a credit score, taking better notes, applying for a loan, doing taxes, qualifying for an apartment. It's almost like there could be some kind of a class that could teach you all of these things, well, most of these things, right? It could teach you the apartment stuff, it could teach you taxes, loans. This is something that we're supposed to be doing constantly anyway. Yeah, I can actually show you. I have a couple of my old folders from college, and in them I have my notes and how I took notes and lectures. Huh?
Here?
I might have them on my desk, I can look.
Oh.
But yeah, I have some of my essays from college, a couple of my essays from college. Yeah, it's wonderful. I can look at it.
He rereads them, he's like, damn, I wrote that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's genius. One of the reasons I have it is because I'll have people who will say like, oh, but things were easier back then. I have an essay from when I was 17. It's in my drawer, and it wasn't anything special. It's just something that I happen to have. But it's interesting when I read it, I can sit there and go, yeah, that sounds exactly like me talking. And there's something to that. Like when you're writing, they say you should have your own voice. Yeah, there should be something to that. That when if I gave you like 3 essays to read, one of them was mine, I would hope that you look at it and go, this is the one that Stanley wrote. You know? And there should be something to that for us. But there's a reason we don't. I'll tell you why later. After this. Remind me. I need to. How to raise your credit score, driver's education. It's almost like there could be a class about like home living or like a financial literacy class or something like that.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. You know what's interesting is that I imagine that if we focused on these things, then I wonder if we would get things like, you know, I wish we learned stuff like advanced mathematics. I wish that was available to us. Yeah. You know, I wish we did stuff with like, you know, like you know, rhetorical analysis or philosophy or psychology. Yeah, I wish we had stuff like that. In other words, it's a series of trade-offs. It really is. And I can see this. I can see the need for something like this. And we used to have something that sounds familiar. We used to have something like this. It was a little bit, it was called home economics. It was a long time ago.
Don't we have a class that changed economics?
What's that?
Don't we have an economics?
Yeah, it was home economics though. And home economics was stuff like this. It was even like cooking, you know, how to make food. Yeah, it was essentially a life skills class that was designed to send you out into the world with the ability to get an apartment, to eat there, you know, to raise your credit score so you could qualify for it, and teach you how to drive so you could go to work and back.
That would have been a good class.
But here's the thing, why is it not there anymore? I don't know why it's not there. There's a couple of suspicions. One of them is that it went away when the auto tech went away and when the other, you know, those other, you know, vocational things went away. It probably went away with those things. But actually, if you watch movies from like the 80s, it's like a high school movie from the 80s. A lot of times you'll hear them talk about that. They'll say, oh, it's home ec. That's home economics. That's what that class is. It's like life skills class. And so I wonder, though, how many people were in that class and were sitting there going like, this is awesome. I'm learning how to do all of these things I'm going to need to know how to do. Or I wonder if they were in that class and they said, oh, this sucks, man. I wish we could do other stuff, you know? I wonder if the complaint is always just going to be there. I don't know. But if you made it an elective, at least people have the choice of taking it, you know, the option.
Yes.
But that requires, you know, having choice. And choice, of course, is the problem of the fear of freedom.